Ladies man, parentheses, ladies boy.
Curse of Reptar.
Finster who stole Christmas.
Hell yeah!
Steven, knock it off.
I need to see how the Finster stole Christmas.
It's easy.
Which Finster do you think it is?
Chaz.
Why would he steal Christmas?
All his rich parents.
Aren't they Jewish?
Chaz isn't.
Is Chucky Jewish?
Chaz does not abide by his parents' religion.
Oh, no, wait, Tommy's Jewish.
Yeah, the pickles are Jewish.
The pickles have...
So why is the
Never mind.
Finster stealing Christmas then?
Oh, that's a good question. How would they celebrate Christmas if that's the case?
Yeah. Tommy's like, you
Interesting.
can't take Christmas. I love Christmas, I think.
I'm 1 year old and I say you cannot take Christmas.
He said, I don't know, Tommy. I want to take Christmas.
It's fine, Tommy.
Chucky starts tearing up and says, why can't I have Christmas?
All
Tommy
grown
threw a
up.
Jewish star at Chucky and he went, help!
I like in this situation, it's all grown up, but Chucky is a year less than he was in the Rugrats.
No, that was Tommy who was talking earlier.
I
Okay,
disagree
thought you said
with
Chucky was 1
everyone
year
knows
old.
Chucky is 2, Angelica's 3, and everyone else is 1.
Yeah.
I disagree with your religion, Tommy.
My dad told me our religion is the best religion. Tommy.
Jesus is real, Tommy.
I know, Chucky. My daddy told me put him on the fence.
You can't prove that he's real, Tommy.
Why is he going back on his word? He's a real, but you can't prove that he's real.
He got him, George.
You can't prove that he's not real either.
If it's real, tell him to hit me. Yeah, that's what I thought, Tom.
My dad's
Hey
gonna
there,
hit your dad.
Sprout. Just got done nailing that man to the cross. You kids want to play some stickball?
Your grandpa's senile, Tom.
Your grandpa doesn't know what he's talking about. He just threw Spike against the wall.
Oh,
My grandpa.
his frail elbows breaking and popping as he throws that big ass mud across the fucking lawn.
That mutt's frail too. He's big, but he has twigs.
You're right, you're right.
Your grandpa's perpetuating a false religion, Tommy.
Your dog is dead, Tom.
God is dead, Tommy.
This is the first time you're experiencing death, isn't it, Bobby? I've been there before.
That's rough, Tommy.
Anyway, on with the show.
Disclaimer! Crossing the Line is not a show intended to bully or harass anyone. Do not go out of your way to find or mess with the authors featured on our podcast. They make what we do possible, and we love them. And you. Thanks. Enjoy.
It's season 2, and I've given up on questions. My new thing is to recall the theme song of the show from memory. So this time it's Rugrats, and the Rugrat. I'm gonna start with the original Rugrats. It goes dun 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 dun, and that's all I know. And then Rugrats All Grown Up is I could probably recite the entire thing, but I can't remember how it begins. Anything important from that song?
Can I play you up?
Sure.
Okay. birthday, my
Mom and Dad would say you're another year older, another year wiser, but I still go to school to get an education after each and every year, like a mini vacation. All grown up, I really want to shout it out. All grown up, I want the world to know. All grown up with you. I really want to shout out again, and then it's all grown up with you.
Right.
Wow, that was pretty good.
That was back when intros were 30 seconds.
God, what a good time to be alive.
That was a good bit.
Indeed.
We'll see how much we can keep this up.
Okay, sounds good.
I can't wait to our Naruto episode where we recall every single Naruto intro.
Oh my god. We have to go through the entire timeline.
Not too tough. There's only
We'll see.
probably like 20 theme songs.
The first two are the same at least.
True.
I can recite the German one.
You will not. Believe it. Believe it.
Yeah, that's it. That's how it goes.
It's horrible.
Alright, today's episode, as we just mentioned, is Rugrats / Rugrats All Grown Up, because that's how fanfiction categorizes it, so we don't really know what we're going to get. What's everyone's experience with the Rugrats?
It was definitely one of the few Nicktoons, like, by Klasky Supo that, like, really stuck. And you saw a lot of it in the 90s. Like, it was crazy popular, like, back in its time.
Yeah, I'd say it's by far their biggest show.
Yeah, it was really popular. It's also, I feel like the art style fits it, if not the best, one of the best.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's like, it's loose, but it really fits because it's really stylized with that show. It's not like Rocket Power, like, where everything is, like, condensed and scruffy. It's like, it has some space to breathe in the character design. And the color palette's really nice.
You know, I can say I watched that show all the time as a kid, but I can't remember a single thing that doesn't have to do with the Search for Reptar game.
I watched it all the time growing up too, like, even all grown up when it came out, but, like, that was more of a novelty thing, because, like, at the time it was easy to get excited about that sort of thing. It's like, oh shit, it's more Rugrats, and they're older.
Yeah, I also watched a lot of it, but I don't remember any episodes really.
And then they did pre-K days.
Oh god, we don't talk about pre-K days.
Why not?
Because it had, like, 4 episodes.
It's funny.
Is that what introduced Susie?
The one. No, the pre-K days was the spin-off that had just Angelica and Susie in preschool.
That's right. That sounds terrible, but I do remember that existing.
It was. Their eyes are just terrible because they have to have highlights in their eyes at all times, and it looks really distracting and terrible.
Yeah, I actually recall that now that you've mentioned it. How unfortunate.
It was canceled very quickly.
Yeah.
And abruptly.
Nobody likes Angelica.
Aren't they bringing Rugrats back for something?
I believe so. I think, yeah, they're like doing a Netflix reboot or something.
Netflix reboot.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
How is it not Nick?
Drawn by Trigger.
Because
It can't.
it's going on Netflix. Like the Invader Zim and the Rocco are going to be on Netflix as well.
What?
Yeah, it's
Didn't
weird.
the Rocco come out already?
Nah, Rocco hasn't come out.
Rocco
had to do a petition. Someone had to do a petition. I remember because Egoraptor shared it like a week or so ago, where he's like, make them release the Rocco movie and whatnot. And
That's
then
just weird because like that stupid Nick Kart Racer that came out like a few months ago has the Rugrats in it, so it's clearly still a Nintendo IP or Nickelodeon IP.
Right.
So it's weird that they would put anything on Netflix and not their own streaming service.
It's weird, but I guess they're like trying to branch out a little bit. I don't know.
Yes.
Well, they make money by putting it on Netflix, right? Not.
I guess I can't see them making more money than putting it online though, or on their TV channel though.
Well, if they put it on their TV channel, that's true, yeah. But if they put it on their website, they have to pay to host it, and they might make a little bit of ad revenue. But
well, it's like all the streaming stuff these days. Like Cartoon Network, you basically use a Steven Universe to thrive their streaming service, which is through Comcast,
right,
or just cable in general. So, like, if you have cable, then you get access to the streaming services.
Yeah.
So it's basically on demand, but on your tablets and phones and such.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess they assume more people would see it on Netflix than like their own app and their
that's fair.
thing.
It's just hard to see from like a business standpoint because like
Very true.
them owning a channel and considering all the others like smut they put on Nickelodeon, including Henry Danger and the cartoon spin-off Adventures of Kid Danger.
Yeah, it's that treasure. When are we gonna do that theme for the podcast?
Elias is gonna have to look up the Henry Danger theme song.
I'll do it right now.
I'll just recall it from the memory I don't have of it.
All right, go.
Punch, punch, kick, kick. Henry Danger. Punch, punch, kick, kick. Henry Danger. And then the cartoon version of that is just like a Nightcore version of the first version.
The Eurobeat mix.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go ahead and start reading now.
Oh, okay. I'll go last this time because mine was like the whole thing last time.
Yeah, okay, Steven. Okay. The world of the WVBA was made for men. Big men, tough men, men who like to dance, men that were crazy, and just guys who wanted to collect a paid check no matter how many times they got their face pounded.
I knew the minute you said the fucking thing.
What's wrong, Steven?
Oh, no, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong.
You were looking at me pretty harshly, though.
It's because I was waiting for you to affirm my suspicions.
The
were
WVBA had it all, but it was missing something. What was that something? Well, how about the women's division? Wait! How about a woman fighting non-sanctioned fights with the men of the WVBA?
Oh no.
Oh no!
How about it?
There was one gal that did it, and until this day she is the only woman to hold the WVBA boxing champion belt. What was her name, you ask? Her name was Angelica Finster. She was happily married to Charles Chucky Finster.
Well,
He was her trainer. He was also a pretty good boxer. He is still active today. The same goes for Angelica as well. She made history, becoming the first woman to win a title dominated by men and only men.
this is such a bizarre...
You go,
What a world.
Angelica started a revolution of female boxers entering the WVBA. So many women entered the WVBA thanks to her. The WVBA was forced to make a women division.
What does the WBA stand for?
WVBA World Video something.
World Video Boxing
Yeah.
Association?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, probably association.
Don't worry, you'll figure it out.
Mm.
Let's see. They gave women the option to fight men if they wanted to. You think I'm lying about this? Okay, I'll tell you the story about how Angelica became the champ and how she blew through everyone on her way to the top. We fade out of this scene with our narrator and enter a scene with Angelica and her husband Chucky in the locker room getting ready for a big fight with the most successful WVBA champion, Little Mac.
How tall do you think Lil Mac is compared to Angelica?
Angelica is still 3 years old, right? Or however old she is.
I
She's
hope
married.
not.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
I hope not. Goddamn.
Or, okay, all grown up, she's 14 or 13 or something.
So in that case, I don't know.
Don't worry, she's gonna win. We already know the answer.
Yeah.
You're right. The author got really defensive for a second. Oh, you don't believe me?
You don't think women can fight? What's wrong with you?
You don't think Angelica Finster, wife of Chucky Finster, can fight? Anyway. Angelica looks down at the ground, sighing heavily. She was remembering all the haters and doubters in the media and her personal life that said she couldn't win. The media who said she couldn't knock out Glass Joe. What did she do? She KO'd him in 10 seconds in the first round with 2 punches.
Poor Glass Joe.
The media called that luck. Von Kaiser went down in 30 seconds in the first round. She made quick work of Disco Kid, too. They said King Hippo would destroy her. He went down in 2 minutes into the first round. After finishing up the minor circuit, the media asked if she was going to quit. She said, "Are you kidding me? The minor circuit is filled with nothing but a bunch of bums. And only one of them was any decent, and that was King Hippo. I hope the major circuit offers more of a challenge. After that, she walked away from all the reporters with their cameras.
At least she didn't bury King Hippo in the interview.
Thank God. She made it very clear not to. Angelica kept her hot streak going. The media didn't say much when she was in the major circuit. They knew the guys there were good, but they were beatable though. Guys like Piston Hondo, Great Tiger, and Bear Hugger gave her a challenge, but still all of them went down for the count in the second or third round. The media still wasn't satisfied. They once again asked her if she was going to quit after she finished up the major circuit. The media felt that guy in the world circuit like Aaron Ryan, Soda Popinski, Super Macho Man, and Mr. Sandman. Especially guys like Super Macho Man and Mr. Sandman could knock out anyone in a matter of seconds. They heavily advised her to quit now if she still wanted to chew food and be able to breathe. The media said this to her. Collectively, the media.
Angelica, please, if you want to continue to breathe and stuff, die and quit.
She said, "Look, you guys, just because I'm a girl doesn't mean I'm like glass. I've shown you that I can take punches and knock out guys twice my size. The fighters in the major circuit were not bad. I think I have earned my keep as a fighter. Can I get the same respect like every other fighter in the WVBA?"
Oh my God.
Angelica, you don't realize you're going up against Smothering Smitty, and he's literally gonna make you not breathe.
Smothering Smitty?
Yeah.
He just carries a pillowcase into the ring.
He grabs her by her head and puts her face in his stomach so she
Who is this character you made up?
can... Smothering Smitty. He's Smitty from Dragon Ball Z, but he's a boxer.
And why does he smother?
Because he can't box.
He has his hands in two pillowcases and he just wraps them around. He picks Angelica up by her small 13-year-old head.
Smothering Smitty's no joke. He's in the major circuit.
You always fall back to Smitty, the bizarro background character from Dragon Ball Z.
His name is so funny to say. Look at him and not laugh saying his name.
Smitty is the man who was with the man that shot Majin Buu's dog.
The fat guy who got blown up.
I'm looking him up.
Okay.
I doubt I'll find anything.
You will. That was a pivotal moment in the season.
Oh yeah, well, he's here.
She walked away from the media again to start her training for the World Circuit. She knew the World Circuit was no joke, so she steps up her training tenfold. When the day came, she touched gloves with the dirty Irishman Aaron Ryan. She knocked him off. She knocked out him in the first round without little to any effort. Angelica didn't fall for his silly, dirty tactics, and she was surprised he was ranked that high in the WVBA rankings. The rest of the World Circuit fights for her were tough battles, but she still rose on top, knocking out all the guys. Well, after beating Soda Popinski, Angelica had to take some time off from boxing and have her baby with her husband and trainer Chucky.
Oh, gross.
Oh no.
So, like,
She got pregnant?
She was like 4 months pregnant fighting Soda Popinski in the ring. And she got punched in the stomach one too many times. She's like, alright, I can't, hold on.
She said, Chuck.
Push boxer.
Yeah, I guess. He's no circuit winner.
True.
I'm sure that's what Angelica says when people ask about her husband.
It was a beautiful baby boy named Charlie Finster. After that, she came back to boxing, and it seemed she didn't miss a beat, as she knocked out Bald Bull in the first round without a scratch. The media went dead silent when she put Bald Bull down for the count in the first round.
Went silent.
He was the only knockout once in his career, and that was done by the current WVBA champion, Little Mac. The media was silenced when she delivered the final blow to Mr. Sandman in the closing seconds of round 3. That was the hardest fight of her career. That win was so big. It was on the front page of all the local and major newspaper, being constantly covered on all the local news stations. Angelica was becoming a star. She always wanted to be a star when she was little. Angelica liked to bully Tommy, Phil, Lil, and her future husband Chucky when they were younger. Why is that important?
She's a bully.
Why did they go back to she liked to bully them even back when they were younger?
She got good at boxing. She bullied children.
She boxed the babies when they were younger.
She stepped on Tommy's feet and then kept punching him into the ground, so he kept popping up like one of those punching bags.
When Angelica was young, she used to hit babies.
You dumb babies!
Made her strong. She did that for 20 years.
She's the reason their heads are the same size. They just stayed swollen.
That's so gross.
That's why the heads are so lumpy.
That's fair. Tommy does have a lumpy head.
Angelica enjoyed this feeling, but every time she sat down for an interview, she stayed humble. She said, "A lot of people said I was going to get knocked out in a matter of seconds. I proved them wrong. I knocked out every fighter that WVBA has to offer. I am happy I'm going to get a title shot. I think Little Mac had to deal with the same media attacks I had to deal with. They pick on him for him being shorter than all the other fighters. They pick on me for being a woman. We're one and the same." She never let her success turn into cockiness, but all of that was the past.
Doesn't sound like it.
I was about to
Yeah,
say,
she sounds pretty cocky.
That's bullshit.
"You ready to make history, baby?" her husband Chucky asks as he finishes tying up her gloves.
Do you think Chucky at this point looks exactly like Chaz?
He's probably more balding.
Do you think Angelica ever hits Chucky?
She has to keep her streak alive.
Well, yeah, they practice sparring all the time.
She trained when she was pregnant by hitting Chucky around the house.
He can't hit her back because she's pregnant.
It's with his child.
Oh my
He's
god.
having mood swings.
Literal mood swings. God.
I like how he called her baby.
She's gonna hit him for that one later.
Aside from Angelica being attacked by the media, he also was pulled into multiple interviews, begging him to persuade his wife, Angelica, to quit while she was ahead. So
Wow.
Chucky was ready to prove a lot of people wrong as well. Why did so many people just against this?
I don't know, man.
This is a cartoon world.
They have to make sure that there's a reason for her to be so upset.
I've been ready for this moment when I took up boxing. Fighting weak girls down at the local gym, Angelica said, standing up from the bench she was sitting on. What?
Imagine her going down to her local gym and hitting girls.
She's like,
Picking fights at the local gym.
"Who wants to fight me?"
He's so angry.
Boom.
You think Chucky does the same thing at the women's gym?
Chucky said, "You should go down to the women's gym sometime and pick fights. I do it all the time. It's really funny."
It's really easy.
It's really easy and simple.
Angelica, watch this. This one of you cunts wants to fight Chuckster.
Inspired her all this way.
She drove away. She left his ass there to rot.
Let's see. Angelica was standing up from the bench she was sitting on. She was dressed well for the championship fight, too. Angelica wore a white t-shirt with black outline. It also had black letters reading Blonde Terror on the front of it. It used to say Ring Queen on the front of it. But she changed the logo when she was knocked out by Patty. Patty?
Oh no.
Isn't that Phil and Lil's mom?
Yeah. Wait, I have to look it up now. 'Cause if so, that's the greatest thing ever.
It's like, "Yeah, come on, Angelica! Bring it on!"
Yeah, come on there, Angelica.
gave
Show
her-
me a pummel.
I can believe that.
I would pay to watch
Angelica-
that animated.
She caught Angelica bullying the children and took her outside.
I bet Patty's got a star platinum punch to her.
Oh no, that's Betty.
Patty.
Damn.
Who's Patty?
That's a good question. Let's see.
Is she another blonde terror that I don't know about?
I'm hoping that it's not the Patty I'm thinking of.
Look it up.
From a different Nick show.
Look
Wait.
it up.
Wait a second. Remember that bully in Rugrats, like the boy bully?
Mm-hmm.
The like older baby?
The bully?
There was like a bigger baby in Rugrats that would bully them.
Yeah, and then Angelica was scared when Tommy stood up to him and she went like, "Wow!"
He is literally named the bully.
Bully.
Yeah, this fucker.
Yeah, he's awful. He looks like Jackie Chan from the cartoon. He grew up to be strong.
I remember when I was younger, I used to hit a little baby girl.
I used to beat up this little baby.
The bully.
Wow!
Damn.
Now I beat up Jade-chan.
I see a character named Patty Pants, but that's it. She's like a puppet.
Well, that's clearly her.
I guess so.
What? There's no other Patty in this Rugrats verse.
I mean...
Or the Punch-Out verse.
We'll see. I know one other blonde character named Patty in the Nick verse, but not in Rugrats verse. And it's the Video Boxing League, so who knows?
Let's see. Angelica felt it best to change it to something else since she wasn't the ring queen anymore. Angelica's boxing gloves were black and white. She finished the outfit with black trunks and with white trim and boxing boots of the same color scheme as her gloves. Steven, draw this later.
Okay.
It'll be for the thumbnail. It'll be very funny.
Okay.
Well, this guy is very different from the rest. Watch out for his right uppercut and protect your body at all time. He likes to go to the body a lot. Chucky escorts her to the ring. When Angelica made her way to the ring, she heard the ring announcer say her name. But what was new to her was the huge pop she got from an all-female section. There was a small group of men cheering her on, too. You know these were Angelica fans because they were wearing the same shirt she was wearing, Blonde Terror. One girl even had a sign saying, "Blonde Terror versus the Shorty." That alone showed how to hype up this fight was.
The Shorty.
Yeah, that's his name, the Shorty.
Oh.
The short, bald man.
Angelica chuckles to herself as she got into the ring. She wasn't expecting such a huge reaction. Angelica raised her gloves up high for the crowd and did a little flexing. She didn't want to do much. Angelica wanted to stay focused. Chucky gave her a massage as they waited for Little Mac.
Oh no. Oh no.
Chucky got sensual as they waited for Little Mac. Gross.
He ran the mower.
When Little Mac came down the ramp, he got a lot huge from the Angelica fans. And they were signs saying, "Your time is over, Shorty," and "Prepare for your worst nightmare, Mac." Mac didn't let it bother him since he was the champ. He came in the same attire he won the belt with. It was a gold tank top and gloves with red and white trunks. He was ready for action. His trainer, Doc Lewis, was ready for action too. He brought an extra amount of chocolate bars. He knew how serious this fight was.
An
Extra amount of chocolate bar.
How much is an extra amount?
For Doc's standards, I couldn't tell you.
He just has a bunch of pockets inside his track jacket that he just stuffs with him.
Truly stuffed,
Just
I'm sure.
raw, open chocolate.
Freaking stains in his jacket.
Mac enters the ring and didn't do any signaling to the crowd. He was here on business. He didn't have time for that. So he just threw some combinations to the air and warmed himself up. After that, he went to his corner for the whip, waiting for the bell. Angelica did the same. Both fighters glare at each other across the ring. Ding! Fight! The ref barks to both fighters. Mac came out hard and fast. Mac's style was to hang back and let his opponent make the first move and capitalize on their mistakes. But things were going different this time. He wasn't going to waste any time. He threw 2 quick jabs to her head and a quick right hook to her body. Angelica blocks the jabs and just barely blocks the right hook. She fires off a nasty counter. It was a powerful left hook to the jaw. It seems Chucky taught her his best punch. The punch set Max staggering a bit, so he put his guard up to avoid any more damage. Body shots, Angelica! Do them now! Chucky shouted out orders from outside the ring.
Doc Lewis is gonna get on that man.
He's gonna get him in an arm bar.
No coaching! In an arm bar.
Angelica heard her husband and did what she was told. She fakes a...
Go ahead.
Lil Mac just hears this going on and ignores it.
Of course.
She fakes a left jab to the forehead and drills her right glove into his body with quick multiple uppercuts. She finishes this with a powerful uppercut to the chin. Angelica earns a star for her troubles.
Oh my god.
Mac, being the champion he is, took the body shots like a champ. He was waiting for a chance to counterattack. His chance came when she threw the uppercut into his chin. He avoided the uppercut and countered with a quick combo of 3 jabs to her head, and he kept the pace with 4 body shots from both gloves. He earns another star. Angelica ate all of Mac's punches. She grunted heavily and put her gloves up to protect herself. Mac wanted her to do this. He assaulted her body with multiple hooks. Angelica grunted some more. She had had enough of his hooks, so Angelica took a step back. Get ready for a beating from the goddess! Angelica's eyes glow white as she shouted at Mac as she rushed down
Glows
with her
white.
special attack. It was called Heavenly Beating. It was a super fast combo of jabs, hooks, straights, and ends with an uppercut.
Oh no.
Mac had seen this before. Some guy would step back and taunt him before they do their special attack or whatever. He blocks the jabs, he ducks the hooks, he ducks the straights, and before she could do the uppercut, he pounded her body some more with more body-staggering hooks.
Oh, no.
Mac earns a star with a successful counter. Angelica grunted loudly, "Ah!" and drops her gloves. She was very tired after that special attack, so she was a sitting duck. The glow that was in her eyes went away too.
Oh no.
Mac wasn't going to show her any mercy. He knew she was more damaged than him, so he went for a special uppercut. He crouched down and pressed his monument forward. Boom!
Is that an innuendo?
His momentum, probably.
That's I think it's supposed to be momentum.
Monument.
Boom! He had 2 stars, so it hurts a lot. It was a powerful right uppercut to the chin. Angelica's...
On accident, he hit Chucky instead.
Outside the ring!
Angelica dodged.
like-
Chucky took one right to the mouth.
It's like Luffy when he goes gear second, he's punching the wind, essentially. This shattered Chucky's jaw.
It hurt a lot. Chucky was down for the count.
Old Mac went, hey, wait just a sec, and then slugged Chucky through the ropes.
Chucky wasn't even in the match, but the ref still counted him out.
He wasted a whole star on her husband.
The ref starts laughing
2
and walks out to count him down.
Old Mac just punched the passion out of her career.
Angelica's head went upwards violently. The next thing everyone knew from her trainer/husband Chucky, Doc Lewis, and to all her fans, she crashed on the canvas, hard on her back. 1, 2, 3! The ref started his count without a moment notice. Chucky and Angelica's fans watched in horror. Doc had a huge grin on his face. Angelica was breathing heavily. She took tough punches before, but she hadn't been to the canvas since Patty KO her. And that was a long time ago. Man, this one will be tough. I can't let my guard down. I have to fight smarter, Angelica thought to herself. 4, 5, 6. The ref continues his count. Get up, Angelica! Chucky cried from outside the ring. Angelica sat up holding her head. The build erupted when she did that. They really do want me to win! Wow! This has been a dream of mine for a long time. She stood up at the count of 8. Yes! Good job, Angelica! You're gonna be tough, sweetie! Chucky cheered loudly.
Thanks, Chuckster.
Oh no.
Alright, let's go.
Chucky cries from the floor outside the ring.
His teeth fell out and the grape juice is pouring out of his gums.
Tune in last week for our episode on rocket power.
To see how that's possible.
It was only 30 seconds, so there was some brief last-minute offense from Angelica to make up for her knockdown she suffers from Mac. She landed some good punches, but it wasn't anything special. Ding! Both fighters went to their corners when they heard the bell. They gave each other a strong glare as they touched gloves. The amount of respect between these two was amazing. Angelica's corner. Angelica sat down in his corner trying to relax after getting up from the knockdown. She was also trying to get her thoughts straight. Man, he's tough. I hope Chucky has a way to deal with him.
Oh no.
Chucky isn't even meeting her at the corner.
Chucky's unconscious.
Chucky's already marching over, pulling his sleeve up the Doc's corner. That was a nasty knockdown. You have to mind your stamina and his body shots. He's going to keep wearing you out. Block some of those body shots and give him a taste of his own medicine, Chucky said as he helps Angelica relax by putting a bag of ice on her stomach.
On her stomach.
A little Mac's corner. Mac just sat down and looked at Angelica. He kept his gloves up for some strange reason, took a bite of his chocolate bar and said, I'll give her credit for making it this far, Mac baby. Don't drag this one out, Mac baby. Put her to sleep while you have the chance. Keep going on your body to set up for your uppercuts.
I was hoping he'd keep saying Mac baby after every sentence.
Mac baby. Mac baby. Let's get your belt back, son. Belt back, son. Ding! You alright?
Listening.
Angelica didn't want to wait to overdo anything, so she came out slowly. She was looking to bait some of his body shots. Max saw that she came out less aggressive this time. He took it as a sign of weakness, so he threw the first punches of round 2. It was a quick jab to her head and 2 body shots. Angelica blocked this combo easily and fakes an uppercut to the chin. Mac fell for the fake and dodged to the left. Sadly for him, though, that was a mistake.
Oh no.
Angelica fires out a powerful left hook to his cheek. The impact sent shockwaves throughout the arena. Mac's head was sent hard to the right violently, but Angelica wasn't done. She planted 2 strong body shots to his body. It earns her a star. Angelica wisely backs off after that. She wanted to reset. Mac tries to throw some hooks to her head, but they are easily ducked by Angelica. She comes back with another plowing right uppercut to the body. Boom! The first one landed without much resistance from Mac, but she wasn't done there. With the same glove, she fires off another powerful uppercut to the chin. It still shockwaves throughout the arena again. Mac went hard into the ropes and fell down face first to the mat. The Angelica fans went nuts. Mac had been down before, but it was never like this. He was shocked that a woman would have this much power. 1, 2, 3, the ref started to count. Mac got up to his knees and grabbed onto the ropes to help himself up. 4, 5, 6, the ref kept counting. Mac got back up at the count of 6. He gave a stern look to Angelica. Let's keep it clean, come on, the ref barks at both fighters. Both fighters meet in the middle again. The next 2 minutes was an exciting exchange of punches between the 2 fighters. The difference about this exchange, though, is that all the punches Mac threw were avoided by Angelica. She didn't dodge the punches to avoid taking damage, but to deliver powerful counter after counter to Mac's head and body. Each shot landed with pinpoint accuracy. Everyone in the arena, including the seconds, could see the amount of power Angelica put into those punches. Mac staggers back, trying to think of a way to stop this display of amazing defense by Angelica. She moves in for the kill, but... Ding! Mac was saved by the bell. Little Mac's corner. Doc did what he could to fix up all the bruises and cuts his fighter had got during that last one-sided exchange. You need to put her down, Mac, baby. She has proven to both of us that she can fight. Let's give her everything we got. Mac nodded his head slowly. He gave a cold look. He wanted to win this fight badly.
Doc Lewis just shot him a look and then did the thumbs down.
Doc Lewis is marching over to get rid of Chucky.
He's marching over to throw Angelica out of the ring.
Angelica's corner. Chucky gave Angelica some water. Good work, honey. You have him on the ropes. It's time to finish the job so we can celebrate. Angelica just nods and returns the cold look Matt gave her.
Angelica frowns and walks away.
Angelica divorces her husband.
Signs the papers and continues the next round.
Ding! Angelica was the quicker fighter this time around. She had to be because this was the last round of the fight. Matt came slower and was more cautious. He held his guard really high above his head. That ain't gonna help you, shorty, Angelica thought as her next move will send the fans into a frenzy. She threw a powerful right uppercut to Mac's body. The punch landed like a bomb. Mac fell apart as he heavily grunted.
Angelica put a bomb in his chest.
Angelica's wearing brass knuckles under her gloves.
Chucky knows the secret technique.
You're not legally allowed to check under your gloves. Just wear them all the way out.
I've seen Aaron Ryan put horseshoes in his gloves. You can put all kinds of things in there.
That's just his retainer.
Both of them.
Yeah.
It sent shockwaves throughout the arena. Her fans went nuts, but Angelica wasn't done. Her next punch was a nasty left cross to the temple that sent Mac into hard. So hard he bounces off the ropes. He was still standing, but he'd nothing left. His gloves dropped to his side. He was breathing heavily. Mac knew he was finished. Angelica could see the title in her sights. She took a step back. Her eyes began to glow white. Everyone from the ref, the seconds for both fighters, and the Seek and the fans knew what was coming. And everyone was on the edge of their seats. She's going for it! You can do it, Angelica! Chucky cheers on his wife. Angelica took a step back. Her eyes were pure white again. Get ready for a beating from a goddess! Angelica shouted at the top of her lungs as she does the heavenly beating again. Each punch of her special attack lands successfully. Mac head sent in multiple directions from Angelica's black and white gloves. The last punch was an uppercut. It sent Mac's mouthpiece and head upwards. Mac's body bounces off to the ropes hard. The monument sent his body crashing to the mat flat on his face. Everyone in the building went silent. Mac crashed to the mat for a few seconds before erupting with joy. 1, 2, 3. The ref began his count. Mac didn't move at all. 4, 5, 6. The ref kept counting. Mac still wasn't moving. 7, 8, 9. The ref was almost done with his count. Mac showed a little movement with both of his gloves, but it wasn't enough to beat the count. 10, that's enough! The ref signals for the fight to be over. The crowd went nuts! They were chanting, Blonde Terror! Blonde Terror! Blonde Terror! Blonde Terror! Angelica raised her gloves into the air in victory. Chucky storms the ring and picks up his ring and carried her around the ring. The ref awarded her.
Picked up the ring
and carried it around the ring.
If I was little Mac and I heard, "Get ready for a beating from a goddess," I'd get so angry that I'd blow her head off. I'd be like, alright, time to take this motherfucker seriously.
That's what I'd do, my god.
Even with her eyes as white as
I
God.
would sober up instantly and look her dead in the eyes and punch her head off.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first female and new WVBA champion, Angelica Finster, the ring announcer said. And that's my story. Our personal narrator for the story was finally revealed. It was Charles Chucky Finster. I hope you
Missed
enjoyed my little
opportunity.
story.
His story?
My wife lost the title to Brandy Harrington. Who's that?
That's from Brandy and Mr. Whisker.
Isn't she like a furry girl?
She lost it to a damn dog. All that.
She was a firecracker too. It was a close fight with multiple knockdowns, but Brandy took it by split decision. It was a tough loss for my wife. She gave him props, though, and told her she'll be back. He adjusts his chair and looks at his window to see his wife doing push-ups and squats nonstop. Chucky looks away for a few minutes, taking in her rhythm. I almost forgot. She earned a new nickname after she won the title. Everyone called her the Punch-Out Angel. It has a nice ring to it. No, it doesn't.
Everyone called
But
her a
Angelica
bitch.
and I felt Blonde Terror had a better ring to it. At the end of the day, though, we just love the sport. He sits back down in his big chair, relaxing and returning to watch Angelica train.
Ooh.
He sits back in a big chair and watches her train.
Mr. Whiskers handed Brandy a roll of dimes and told her to end it. God damn.
Yeah.
See, I give that the narrator being right after all, and that Angelica did indeed win the championship.
I like how it was Chucky telling the story and not his wife Angelica, the main character of the story.
Oh, you don't believe me that my wife was the champion?
You don't believe me? Elias, what would you rate the story?
I rate it 3 teeth knocked out of Chucky by Little Mac. 3 out of 20.
3 out of 20 vision that he can no longer see.
23. How many teeth do we have? I was trying to think of the Chip Skylark song. 22.
22.
Yeah.
How could I talk to you when I've got 22?
Woo! Shiny teeth in me. Shiny teeth, shiny
When's
teeth.
the Chip Skylark podcast?
The Chip Skylark podcast?
The most specific one.
You mean a fanfiction podcast or a
Yeah.
podcast specifically about Chip Skylark?
Oh, we can do that? Hell yeah.
The Chipcast.
Did you guys see that audio file that was floating around on Tumblr years ago? It was
Yeah.
the original Chip Skylark recording.
I remember you specifically pulled that up on your phone way on back when we were in George's room, and you were like, "Yeah, someone put a really high quality version of this online."
Wow, now I feel terrible. But
It's a good song.
I mean, it was just the highest quality audio file I'd ever heard at that time, because that was when audio files are typically 720p or lower, and it was just a 4K Chip Skylark original audio recording raw.
Right.
It sounded so good.
Indeed.
It was interesting.
I give that story 2 eyes of the goddess. And with that, we're going to take a commercial break to hear from our sponsors. Not that sponsor.
Hi guys, I'm Doug Funny, and
Not
I'm
that
here
sponsor.
to sell you a Skeeter. I don't like him anymore, so I'm selling him to the highest bidder. Admittedly, I don't like him very much, and he isn't worth very much, so my standards are very low in terms of finance. I'll take $1. Hey Doug, why are you selling me? You shut the fuck up. Skeeter, I don't like you. Oh, jeez, dog, why are you selling me? I need a burger. This has been a commercial ad from Doug.
When Tommy talks, everybody listens.
A baby gotta do what a baby gotta do.
You don't want to miss it when Tommy talks.
We can play jump on Spike.
Grab old Spike, he's the greatest pup. Give him a hug and his ears go up.
Always be the bestest friends.
Says 1,000 things.
Let's get some cookies.
Oh, he's never said that before.
I get right to it. Drop what I'm doing.
That was fun.
When Talking Tommy talks. Nickelodeon Talking Tommy and the Rugrats Friends, sold separately.
Angelica got knocked out by her own husband.
That didn't happen.
It will happen.
What do you mean?
You think Chucky's gonna take that forever?
Yeah, he's gonna knock her out right in his big chair. He's just like, come here, you bitch! I got a bone to pick with you.
Tommy would say that and Angelica would kill him in one hit.
Fucking cave in his skull and they can't tell because his hair's red.
He would smash her head into the ground and say, don't talk to me like that, bitch!
I used to be a good boxer.
She would hit him and then he'd do an Ike counter and fucking slice her up.
Ching.
I got the frame data, Angelica. You can't beat me.
You simply cannot win. I am the strongest boxer in the ring. You're lucky I didn't enter that tournament. I would have killed you.
Leans in. I would have
Killed you. I'll make dinner.
What if Chucky had all the frame data of Yoshi and equally floated?
What if Chucky jumped in the air and then span his legs around really fast on his wife Angelica? Doing 30 damage and knocking her into the air.
That would be great.
Angelica would say, wow, why'd you do that? I can't believe you did 30 damage and knocked me into the air.
This is a patented Finster flutter.
His Finster flutter kick.
Yeah.
Help!
Once upon a time, Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, Dill, and Kimmy were playing their version of Foursquare in the Finster's backyard. Tommy was playing just like the rest of them, only he was sad. When the ball came to him,
What was he sad for?
the fifth time, he purposely didn't catch it. It hit him square in the mouth, and he said, "Oh, what's the matter, Tommy?" Chucky asked.
He said,
That was a quick ass reaction.
so weak. Defeated.
"What's the matter, Tommy?"
What's the matter, Tommy?
Chucky asked.
We've been playing this same game every day for 100 billion... We've been playing this same game every day for 100 bazillion years. That's like a whole week, and I'm sick of it,
Answered Tommy.
Well, that's okay,
Chucky said.
Thank you. Now, I was thinking...
Tommy started to say.
Hey, I know, we could make it more fun.
Kimmy shouted. How? Phil asked. Well, we always throw the ball the same way, right? Asked Kimmy.
Right?
Phil, Lil, and Chucky all answered at the same time. Can we all say right at the same time? Right. 3, 2, 1.
Right.
So let's throw it the other way, Kimmy shouted.
Good idea,
Chucky replied.
Good idea.
Let's do it, Phil and Lil shouted at once. All the babies except Dill and Tommy continued to play with the ball, except now they threw it to the person to their right instead of their left.
No, guys, that's not what I meant.
Tommy said. I don't know how to do a Tommy voice. How do you do a Tommy voice?
Oh
Hey,
god,
Chucky.
it's hard.
We're going up to have an adventure.
Alright.
No, guys,
Let's
that's
buy
not what
a
I meant.
laptop puzzle.
No, guys, that's not what I meant.
Tommy said. Tommy tried to get the other babies' attention, but they just ignored him and played with the ball. When the ball came around to Tommy, he again purposely didn't catch it.
Tommy, why did you catch it?
Chucky asked. We made it a different game.
We made it a different game,
He said. Yes, but that's not what I mented, Tommy replied. What I mented is that I want something to happen that can probably never happen again, he continued.
Like what?
Asked Chucky. I don't know.
Dying,
Maybe something to fall out of the sky, Tommy answered. All of a sudden, something on fire came shooting down from the sky so fast. Superman would need to work out for at least a month and then race it immediately after he was done if he was going to race it again.
Oh, I thought it was Superman.
Tommy, look out, Chucky shouted.
Tommy, look out! Chucky shouted because the thing was headed right for Tommy. Chucky jumped onto Tommy to get him out of the way, and all the other babies except Dill ran away in the opposite direction.
Is this a Ben 10 crossover?
I don't think so. A second later, the thing made it to the ground. Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, and Kimmy got up, and what they saw was a wide, but not very deep, hole in the ground. Do you think that thing was falling from the sky landed in here? Chucky asked. I don't see anything, Phil responded. Something was falling? Tommy asked. Guys, look! Lil shouted as she pointed at the tree. All the other babies, including Dill, looked at the tree. What's wrong with the tree? Tommy asked. No, it's not the tree, it's that branch, Lil said as she pointed more accurately at where she wanted them to look. The other babies looked at where Lil was pointing and saw something black and rectangular. All the babies except Lil and Dill gasped at the rectangular thing for a few moments. Go get it, Chucky, Tommy said. What? What? Chucky asked.
What?
Oh my god.
Climb the tree and get that thing, Tommy answered. Why me? Chucky asked. Because since Angelica's not here, you're the only one who's climbed it before. I only climbed it a little, Chucky replied. Yes, but that was a long time ago. Since you climbed it a little back then, you should be able to climb it a lot now, said Tommy. Tommy's got a point, Kimmy said. No, he doesn't. I would need to practice to get better, Chucky corrected. True, but you're the strongest of us all, Tommy said. You really think so? Chucky asked. Yep, answered Tommy. Well, I am, Chucky said. I'll do it, Chucky shouted. Chucky ran over to the tree and started climbing it. You said what you said just to get him to climb the tree, didn't you? Phil asked after he walked over to Tommy. Yeah, Tommy answered. Chucky made it to the top of the tree and grabbed the black rectangular thing. Before he grabbed it, he noticed it had a tiny little crack on the front. Chucky then carefully climbed down and handed it to Tommy. Do you think it does anything? Lil asked. Maybe, Tommy answered. Tommy wanted to see if the black rectangular thing was something that he could be open. When he tried to open it, he succeeded. When it was open, 2 screens were on the inside. All the babies except Dill oohed and awed. This must be some super special device from the future, Tommy said. Turn it on, Phil yelled. Tommy pushed every button on the device until it came on. Ooh, all the babies except Dill said. See if it has any games, Chucky said. And if it does, make sure it's not a violent video game because my mommy says violent video games will give you a Jetta, Kimmy said. What? Tommy asked. A Jetta, Kimmy shouted. 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 Can we stop now, please? Lil said. What? Tommy asked.
Yeah,
I mean, sure. He answered. It was real.
That made me really mad.
As always, we read these verbatim. Tommy pushed the first... A Jetta?
Ajita.
What does it mean?
Like chest pains or something.
Okay. Tommy pushed the first square button on the bottom screen of the device, seeing if it was a game. This square button had a picture of a baby in a red hat riding a green dinosaur. When he did this, a lightning bolt struck the device. Tommy accidentally dropped the device as him and his friends were blown away.
Accidentally.
A few feet.
A lightning bolt hit it.
It hit a baby in the chest.
Square in the chest.
And the baby accidentally dropped what it was holding.
Accidentally? You mean fucking forced to? When something hotter than the surface of the sun struck him in the fucking sternum.
When the babies looked up again, they saw the same green dinosaur from the screen button in front of them. The babies then said things like, whoa, and what the? I don't know. It just reloaded for some reason. I don't know what's more bizarre, the screen guy or the fact that this is happening, said Phil. Yoshi, 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 the dinosaur shouted over and over. What's he saying? Kimmy asked. Yoshi, Tommy answered.
Yeah. Lil, the slow one?
Yes, I know he's saying Yoshi, but what does it mean? Asked Kim. I don't know, Tommy answered. Hey, maybe the device
So
can
thing
tell
that
us what he's
fell down from
saying.
the sky was a DS.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
I was gonna make a joke about that, but I didn't expect it to be the actual thing.
Hey, maybe the device can tell us what he's saying, Phil said.
Tommy walked over to the device and picked it up. When he picked
DS
it up,
got struck by a lightning
he
bolt.
noticed that it got turned off when
Fell
it was
from the
struck by lightning.
sky.
So he turned it back on. It's fine, he
Okay,
just
I
turned it
thought-
back on.
Okay, I thought it was just I thought one of the actual kids got hit with a lightning bolt.
I mean, he was holding it, so he may as well have been. Hit him in the hands.
Jesus Christ.
It broke through the Earth's atmosphere so fast it was burning.
I was just wondering this whole time, are they okay? What happened?
They're fine, they just picked it up and turned it back on.
Oh.
Which of these buttons do you think will help us? Tommy asked. All the other babies except Dill walked over to Tommy.
Maybe the one with the music thing on it, maybe the one with the music thing on it,
Chucky suggested. Tommy pushed the button Chucky suggested. What do we do now? Tommy asked.
I don't know,
Answered Chucky. The dinosaur took the device from Tommy and used the feature Tommy already went to record his voice. When he played the recording back, it was translated into English from Japanese, and what he heard was,
From Japanese.
what he heard was, just do what I just did, and over, and we'll be able to talk. The babies once again oohed and awed. The dinosaur gave the device back to Tommy. Tommy figured out how to make and play recording based on what he saw the dinosaur do, and if he didn't have to start a new recording every 10 seconds, it would have sounded like the following. My name is Yoshi. The device that you have found is called a Nintendo 3DS. Not too long ago, the evil wizard Kamek kidnapped all the babies who lived on my island because he knew 7 of them had a star that could help him destroy the universe. Ironically, his minions dropped 3 of the star babies, and later 2 more of them. Those babies were helping me and my relatives get across my island so I could stop Kamek. But then, some kid decided to hack into my game and change the story a little. Now after World 3-5, Kamek steals all the babies who were helping me and leaves me helpless. So I have been taking this 3DS from house to house trying to find new babies who can help me until I save the babies. And I can put my game back the way it's supposed to be.
He crashed into the earth.
All the babies except Dill.
Metamorphed out of a DS.
All the babies except Dill looked at Yoshi in confusion. But I guess because Dill
Except
Dill didn't pay attention. He didn't go talk to him or whatever. He's like off on his own. So everybody except Dill talked to Yoshi. Yoshi sighed, then took the device from Tommy. He recorded his voice again, and now what he said was, "Will you help me?" The babies then said many different ways to say yes all at once. Yoshi then nodded to show he was glad the babies agreed to help him. He then snuck inside the house without the adults seeing him, and came out with a piece of paper and pen. On the paper, he drew pictures of the kinds of babies he needed. When Yoshi was done drawing, he handed the paper to Tommy. "What's it say?" Chucky asked. "Well, this first baby here is obviously me, so I'm not going to waste time reading it," Tommy said. "But the baby with an umbrella so Yoshi can fly in the wind, I really don't know." He continued.
This first baby's obviously me because I'm the first baby.
Tommy looked around at his friends, and when he looked at Lil's dress, he realized that it would be able to do the same thing as the other baby's umbrella. "Lil, you're the umbrella baby," Tommy said. Lil said absolutely nothing.
This stoic stone face.
"Did you hear me?" Tommy asked. "Yes, but I don't see why you expect me to think it's a big deal," Lil replied. "Whatever, we now need a baby monkey who's very strong," said Tommy. Tommy then looked at Dill. "I picked Dill," Tommy said.
This story's asinine.
A baby monkey who's very strong.
Dill's not even paying
Dill.
attention, he's off in his own world. "Dill, why do you pick Dill?" asked Chucky. "Because he's the monkiest of us all," answered Tommy.
He does like monkeys.
"True, but you said I'm the strongest," said Chucky. "I lied," said Tommy. Chucky then got angry.
Got him.
He got angry.
Oh, Tommy.
There's discourse in the Rugrats.
Chucky then got angry. "Now which one of us has a magnet?" Tommy asked. Nobody said anything for a few seconds. "Anybody?" says Tommy. Tommy just pissed everybody off at the same time. "Oh wait, I know," said Phil. Phil then ran into the house and then came back out with a magnet. "Who is that?" Tommy asked. Wait, isn't Dill the baby?
Yes,
Yeah.
Dill is the baby.
I guess that's why Dill didn't ever, like, move.
Yes.
Because he couldn't move.
That's why Dill likes the monkeys.
That's why Dill is the monkeyest.
He's
of
also
them all.
stronger than Chucky.
I lied to you.
Dill is stronger.
He's got monkey strength.
So Phil Rand got a
This
magnet.
is specifically Yoshi's Island DS.
Yep. Whose is that? Tommy asked. Mine, Phil answered. Where'd you get it? Tommy asked. You don't need to know, Phil answered. Okay, Tommy said. Tommy then looked at the paper and saw that there were no more babies needed.
I thought so.
Chucky doesn't get included.
It says, "Sorry, Chucky and Kimmy, we're all out of babies," Tommy said.
I call Susie. She's
Yoshi-
the monkeyest of us all.
Hey!
Yoshi then recorded his voice again. It was translated into, "So, you guys can show the grown-ups the other babies are in the game if they wonder where they are?" Hey, wait a minute. We're going into the game? Nobody told me we were going into the game, Lil said.
Oh no.
Why didn't anybody tell me we were going into the game, she asked.
Lil wants out.
As Lil went on, Yoshi put each baby except Chucky and Kimmy on his back. Yoshi turned the game on and then jumped into the 3DS. Even though they were in the game now, Lil still kept talking.
Oh no.
You're gonna like this next line. Could you please stop talking? Yoshi asked. Notice they didn't translate that one. Wait, you can talk now? Tommy said. Confused. Oh right, I forgot to tell you. And here I can talk, Yoshi said. And once you hear me talk in here, you can hear me talk out there too, he continued. Yoshi then came up with an idea. He then reached out and pulled Chucky and Kimmy into the 3DS. He pulled them in. Hello, Yoshi said to Kimmy and Chucky just before throwing them back into the real world.
I have an idea. Hello.
So that way they'll be able to talk to him when he comes back.
Oh, okay.
That was weird, Chucky said.
Hello.
Let's go, Tommy yelled. Actually, guys, I can only use one baby at a time, Yoshi said. Right now, I need Phil, he continued. Then what are the rest of us supposed to do, asked Lil. You can wait with the storks, answered Yoshi. 3 storks then flew down to Yoshi and put each baby except Phil into a bag.
Oh.
This was not in the job description, Tommy said just before the storks flew off. Okay, now let's go, Yoshi said just before he started running into the right.
Just seeing all these asinine babies talk and like actual
Like phrases.
is crazy.
Chapter 2.
Oh god.
Yoshi, the Rugrats, and other Yoshis of different colors went through hundreds of levels. They also met a new baby, Baby Bowser.
Okay.
Are you guys done? Chucky asked. No, we're just taking a break, Yoshi answered.
I wanna play.
Awkward silence that seems like an eternity. So, anyway, where's that new baby you found? Asked Kimmy. You should be right behind me, Yoshi answered. Yoshi then turned around and didn't see Baby Bowser. That's weird. The camera then slowly moved over to the corner of Chucky's house while eerie music played and Baby Bowser was peering over the corner. He then turned around and was facing Angelica. So, if I help you take over your planet, I can be the princess of it? Angelica asked. Yes, Baby Bowser confirmed. All you have to do is take me to the top of that tower you mentioned earlier, he said. I just told you about it, Angelica said. Why don't you just say the top of the tower? She asked. Because if I do not add, you mentioned earlier, it implies that there is a tower nearby we are both looking at. Adding it makes my dialect easier to understand for the readers, explained Baby Bowser. What? Angelica said. Never mind, said Baby Bowser. And that's the end.
That's the end?
Yep. You're in Yoshi Land.
Interesting way to end it.
I give that a Chucky and whoever cannot play out of 10.
I like how
Chucky.
Yoshi recruited babies for later use.
I give that a Tommy taking a 4-square ball to the chest out of 10.
A nice lightning strike to the friggin' sternum.
I rate it 1,000 volts of electricity hitting Tommy right in the chest. And him just getting up and walking over to the thing and picking it up again.
I had like just settled in for the long haul when you said chapter 2, and that ended in no time flat.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't much of a chapter 2. That seems to happen. They go back to finish the story and they just end it because they don't feel like it.
Very true, very true.
That was something else.
That was. Alright. It was a warm, sunny day, and the Pickles residents were going about their daily routines. Grandpa Pickles was upstairs in his room with the door recklessly left open a bit, as usual, beating his wrinkly dick with supernatural vim and vigor to the latest.
Alright.
Supernatural vim and vigor.
With the door open?
His legs like splayed as far wide as they can.
Why did he do that? They have children there.
That's what happens when you let your fucking grandpa live with you.
Oh.
To the latest Space Vixens video.
Alright.
Tommy and his friends were feeding Spike his assortment of chocolate Reptar bars.
Jesus Christ.
That had always kept neatly in his diaper. Indeed, it was a good usual day. But what could be heard from the basement would be quite startling to the ear. Poor Stu is hard at work, using his toy inventing prowess to make the ultimate super toy that would save his failing marriage with Dee.
No one's watching.
That's gotta be one heck of a toy.
Yeah, my God. When out of the blue, his wife had come storming into the attic with her typical nagging. Damn it, Stu!
Wait, what?
He's in the
He's
basement.
in the basement. She stormed into the attic, screaming at him from completely opposite ends of the house.
That's loud.
That's her venting space. She goes up and stomps on the roof really hard.
Babies hear her stomping on the roof, and they're like, "Oh, she's mad at that again."
There's like 4 levels to this house.
Damn it, Stu! The toilet has been clogged for 4 days because of your...
Because of your what?
4 days. And her solution is to stomp on the attic and complain.
Damn it, Stu!
Oh my God! That took me by surprise! Just a sec, I have to wipe my fucking eyes. Oh my God. Oh.
I like how they set up every character in the house individually, doing their own chaos.
Their own asinine. God. Grandpa's jerking it with the door open.
My abs hurt from that. Has been clogged for 4 days because your parasitic dad keeps taking 10 shits a day in there.
Parasitic dad. Jesus Christ.
Hasn't your pseudo-genius intellect pieced together that his ancient bowels are not compatible with the rest of the family? He's not bringing any revenue into this house. Put him in a fucking retirement home already. How will it pay for Tommy's college education if we keep spending it on a plumber? Dee Dee bitched. Oh. This was a typical day for Stu. He had gone so used to her incessant bitching, that he wasn't paying attention to her.
Yet he's still trying to save the marriage.
Keenly focused on the futile task at hand, Stu is fantasizing about how less bitchy his wife would be after he finished the toy. This meditation continued for what seemed like 20 minutes when he came to realize that Dee Dee's rabbling had attracted the attention of Grandpa Pickles himself. Oh God, I have to prepare.
Prepare your stew voice. Or what's his name?
Yeah,
Grandpa.
Lou.
What the fuck is going on here? Can't my old ass beat my dick in peace? I can hear your wife bitching all the way from upstairs. Back in my days, we didn't have this. Stu, when your mother got mouthy with me, I'd give her the right hook and that'd be the end of it. The old wise man barked at his son. These words hit Stu like a bag of bricks. How could he have been so beta? He looked at
Stu standing there, his world rocked. How could I have been so beta?
I could be beating my wife.
How could he have been so beta? He looked at the state he was in. He desperately making a sex toy to please his wife, and his dad was taking advantage of him. As a man, he began to inherently realize that this was not the way things should be.
Oh no.
Lou, fist clenched tightly. I always knew you and Drew would grow up to be soft bitches. I regret the day I ever hammered you guys out of my cockadoodle. I should have unloaded you into a napkin when you were sperms and flushed the toilet. Well, if you're not gonna discipline your wife, then I fucking will.
Oh no!
His father yelled.
All he's done is jack off and clog the toilet.
I'm a mess right now. Oh my god.
Parasitic father.
Oh my god.
Takes 10 shits a day.
It's been clogged for 4 days.
Shit speeds off and complains.
Called his son a beta male. Stu, do something! Screamed Dee Dee. Stu stood in peril as he witnessed his father beat his wife. The ruckus had caused Tommy and the gang to come rushing down the stairs.
No.
Tommy was shocked to see what was happening. Instinctively, the child rushed to defend his mom with the rest of the gang and Spike backing him up.
Spike's not gonna last long.
What the fuck? You little bastards want some too? I could always force Stu and Drew to make me more grandchildren, blamed the raging grandfather. He just called his grandkid expendable. The Rugrats were no match for him. Lou picked up Tommy by his diaper and flung him through the basement door.
Down a flight of stairs. He's won.
They were no match for him. Oh my
Tossed him
god.
like a bowling ball.
The twins, Phil and Lil, attempted to grab Lou's feet. The grandfather scoffed, picked up the two twins, and used them as blunt objects to beat Dee Dee.
Jesus Christ!
Oh no.
Oh, I am hypoglycemic. This is the first time in a while.
Where's the crossover?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. What the hell? Oh my god. Once they had served their purpose, he sent them flying through the basement window. Chucky, being the cowardly bitch, he hid behind the trash can and peed his diaper. When he noticed that Tommy Pickle's screwdriver had slipped out of his diaper when he was falling out the basement. He then looked around and lying near the basement stairs. He made a run for it and grabbed it with a firm grip. Oh my god. I gots to be brave. A baby's gotta do what a baby's gotta do. The 2-year-old affirmed to himself. But Chucky's legs began to shake when he saw what the furious old man was doing to the family dog.
Oh no!
Oh my god, let's see. Lou punched Spike in the nose, then picked him up by the tail, ripped it off, and threw his tail clean across the basement. Fetch, Rover! Go get your tail! Oh, you can't? Well, let me get it for you! Lou grabbed the tail and threw it in the basement furnace!
Jesus! No!
And it burned fervently as Spike watched his tail's cremation.
No!
The weakened Spike fainted due to a broken will.
God.
Where's the
All this
crossover?
started was because the toilet was clogged.
Because Stevie complained.
I'm gonna fucking pass out. Oh my god. Chucky decided to go for it. He grabbed the plastic toy screwdriver and ran to the aged Pickles. The old hot-tempered man turned to him and ripped off his shirt to reveal a hardened, robust, muscular physique. Along his neckline, Chucky could see 2 medals of honor and a tiger tattoo on his chest.
Flexing on Chucky, this 2-year-old.
With a screwdriver.
Rips his shirt off and flexes at him.
Lou's defeated the whole neighborhood so far. Oh my god.
What is the husband doing in this situation?
Just watching.
He's watching. He's succumbed to his beta instincts.
He's frowning, just looking at him.
He realized he should have been in his napkin in the toilet.
You little shit! I fought 2 world wars in Vietnam! I've 7 decades of combat experience on your ass! Come here and let me demonstrate it! Chucky rushed like a samurai warrior with a screwdriver in hand and leapt great bounds for a 2-year-old and plunged the plastic screwdriver into the hardened warrior's leg. Aha! Is that all? Now it's my turn. Your hair isn't gonna be the only thing that's red. Grandpa Lou ripped the screwdriver out of his quadriceps and rammed it into Chucky's arms and punched his face, shattering his glasses. Then Grandpa picked up the 2-year-old using his incredible strength and threw him into Stu's workbench, then punched Chucky through the workbench itself with incredible power.
Punches his 2-year-old through a table.
Chucky knocked unconscious by the blow. Stu was the only one left. You bitch! You just let me destroy your entire family and friends and walk away with it? Inquired the old man. No fucking way. Stu was angry and ran towards his father with raised fist. As soon as he threw a punch at his father, all of his hair was ripped clean off his scalp as if he was wearing a wig.
Jesus Christ.
The pain was excruciating. God. I learned that move from my Chinese buddies during the Cold War. Whispered the enraged father.
The Cold War, the war with no combat.
Lou then
ripped all the hair out of his son's head.
Damn.
After he tried to stand up to him, the thing he wanted him to do.
Lou then grabbed him by his tie and swung him into the basement floor, leaving a massive crater in the ground. All of Lou's enemies were defeated, and with that the old man returned to fapping in his upstairs room. Lessons were learned, and the family lived happily ever after. The fucking end.
Where's the crossover?
It says Dragon Ball Z, I guess.
Alright, I get it.
Oh my god.
It says Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, my blood sugar was drained from the very start.
Oh dear.
That had me going, damn.
I give that a rating of a babe 3 out of 5 babies thrown through the basement door.
You give it a rating of Stu Pickles, bald, looking like Tommy Pickles.
Oh.
I give that the letter beta in the Greek alphabet for stew. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, that was so violent.
When was that written? No, when was it written? Not what was it rated?
2015.
Really?
Yeah, my god.
Oh, that's like a very 2003 story.
That is.
He's a revolutionary.
He's past his time.
My god.
That's gonna do it for this episode of Crossing the Line, a fanfiction podcast.
Woo!
Alright. Good night.
Doom 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 doom.
Don't you waste your voice at me, woman! Shut your mouth!
Still get back to your room.
Chucky, do something.
Burp.